In the Soviet Union, off-road vehicles were never built for luxury or status. They were created with a single purpose: to work in the harshest conditions where ordinary cars had no chance of survival. Their main mission was to go beyond the roads, into swamps, snow, rocky trails, and deep forests. Soviet engineers were not concerned with making them beautiful or comfortable. Instead, they focused on endurance, simplicity of repair, and maximum off-road capability. This is why so many of these machines, designed decades ago, can still be seen on roads and far beyond them, continuing to serve in the army, in villages, and on daring expeditions. They became symbols of practicality, and today they can rightfully be called legends of Soviet automotive history. One of the very first true Soviet off-roaders was the GAZ 67B, created during the Second World War. It was developed as a response to the American Jeep Willys and quickly proved itself indispensable on the battlefield. The GAZ 67B could carry soldiers, tow light artillery, and handle broken roads where most other vehicles failed. Its design was simple, yet reliable, and with its compact size and impressive off-road skills, it quickly earned respect among the troops. Even after the war, this rugged little machine continued to serve in different fields, standing as the first successful Soviet attempt at making a true off-road vehicle. Its successor was the GAZ-69, affectionately nicknamed the Little Goat by the people. Production began in the early 1950s, and it soon became the ultimate utility vehicle for soldiers, geologists, doctors, and farmers alike. The GAZ-69 was easy to maintain and had high ground clearance, giving it the ability to push through mud, snow, and rough tracks. Its reputation spread far beyond the Soviet Union, as it was exported to many countries in Eastern Europe and Asia. For generations, the Little Goat was the very definition of a reliable off-roader that never let its driver down. By the 1970s, a new legend was born, the UAZ 469. This vehicle carried forward the strengths of its predecessors but took them to a whole new level. Stronger, more durable, and far more capable, the UAZ 469 became known as the commander's car. With portal axles, a tough transfer case, and remarkable ground clearance, it could ford rivers, climb rocks, and keep moving through deep ruts. For decades it was the backbone of the Soviet army, while hunters and fishermen came to worship it as the ultimate wilderness companion. Even today, more than half a century later, the UAZ 469 and its updated versions continue to be used in some of the toughest conditions imaginable. Another unforgettable creation was the UAZ 452, a quirky-looking minibus that the people nicknamed the Loaf of Bread because of its boxy shape. But beneath its odd design lay a true off-road warrior. The UAZ 452 was incredibly versatile. It served as an ambulance, a mobile lab for expeditions, or simply a rugged bus for remote workers. Thanks to its short wheelbase and four-wheel drive, it could weave its way through forests, deep snow, and narrow trails while carrying passengers or equipment inside. The fact that this model is still in production today speaks volumes about its practicality and enduring demand. The Soviet Union also experimented with smaller off-roaders, and the LUAZ 969, known as the Volynyanka, became a surprise success. This tiny vehicle had a very lightweight and independent suspension, making it far more capable than its size suggested. If it ever got stuck, it could literally be pushed out of the mud by hand. It became a favorite for villagers, soldiers, and workers who needed a small but dependable off-road machine for everyday tasks. It proved that a vehicle didn't have to be large to be incredibly useful. Of course, the Soviet legacy wasn't limited to light vehicles. Heavy-duty off-road trucks became just as legendary. The ZIL 157, a three-axle military truck, earned the nickname, the King of the Wilderness. It had a central tire inflation system that allowed drivers to adjust pressure on the move, giving it incredible traction on swamps and sand. The ZIL 157 was trusted to haul artillery, rockets, and vital cargo across any terrain, serving the Soviet Army faithfully for decades. Its successor, the ZIL 131, pushed the limits even further. Equipped with a more powerful engine and refined design, it became one of the most versatile trucks in Soviet history. On its chassis, engineers built mobile radio stations, engineering units, and even the famous GAZ multiple rocket launchers. Whether in forests, mountains, or endless steppe, the ZIL 131 was always ready for the challenge. Many of these machines remain in service to this day. Then there was the GAZ 66, affectionately called the Shishiga. Unlike most trucks, it had its cab placed directly over the engine, giving it an exceptional angle of approach and departure for climbing and descending. This made it practically unstoppable in rough terrain. The GAZ 66 became indispensable for geologists, foresters, hunters, and of course, the military. Simple, strong, and beloved by many, it became one of the most iconic trucks of its time. And finally, standing at the opposite extreme of Soviet off-road engineering was the massive MAZ 537. This four-axle monster was designed to haul tanks, rockets, and oversized military equipment. With a powerful diesel engine and all-wheel drive across 8 wheels, it was able to pull loads of up to 50 tons through conditions that would stop almost any other machine. The MOSH 537 became a symbol of Soviet might, combining brute strength with unstoppable mobility. What set Soviet off-road vehicles apart from their Western counterparts was philosophy. While in the United States and Europe automakers focused on comfort, style, and consumer appeal, Soviet designers prioritized reliability, simplicity, and the ability to function in the most extreme environments. That is why many of these vehicles are still in use today, decades after their creation. Their reputation only grew stronger with time, turning them into lasting symbols of an era when survival and performance were valued above luxury. These vehicles remain monuments to a time when strength and endurance defined the very spirit of engineering.